Well, hello everyone. Welcome to Tech for Tech's Tech Talk. This is a live show. And sorry if you got confused with the intro. For some reason, our intro video, as soon as I pressed the button, it disappeared. So I had to put a generic one on for 5 minutes. So if you are confused. Right, let me just turn the chat on. So if you can hear us and see us, please let us know. That way we know we're not just talking to ourselves for the next hour. Okay, so let me just move Hitz up to the top. So first of all, Hitz, can you introduce yourself? Let everyone know who you are, what you do, what's your company?
Hi, thanks for inviting us today, Phil and Jenny. Hi, my name is Hitz. I work for Origin and I'm a gaming business development director there.
Okay, thank you very much. And Maurice and Maggie, if you want to introduce yourselves, I'll let Maurice go first.
Hi everyone, my name is Maurice. I'm a business development manager for FSP, for a Taiwanese manufacturer of power supplies.
Hi, I'm Maggie Wu, and I work for FSP for business development manager.
Okay, nice one. There we go. So we've got the basics. So it looks like we've got at least two people watching us anyway. So we've got Dan and Ian. So Dan saying evening all, loud and clear. Long time no see, Hitz. And we've got Ian saying loud and clear from Bond. If no one knows, Bond is our pet
Human
dog.
Resources Director at TFT.
Exactly. So we've got a few people watching, but again, if there's anyone else watching, you want to comment, feel free. We'll give you a shout out. Obviously, as the show goes on, more and more people will be tuning in. Today, there we go. Right, let's have a look. So our audio just went off then and came back on again. So that was a bit strange. Can you just do me a favour, Hitz? Can you just speak so I can make sure I can hear you?
Hi, yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, okay.
Good.
That's fine. I was just making sure that our audio just completely
that freaked
dropped
me
off
out
and then came back on again. So right, that's how it goes. Right, okay. Jen, if you want to go through the TechMax news, we'll go through everything what's going off on there, and I'll just share our screen in 1 second when it does allow it. Here we go, and we'll just go over that.
Okay, as you know, TechMax is around the corner. It's on the 27th of June at Magna Science Adventure. And for those of you who want to go, we have hotels available for you if you go to the website. I think it's under, let's see, what tab is under?
Under the venue tab.
Under the venue tab, right.
Yeah,
okay.
Hotel.
Anyway, our headline sponsor for the event is Target Components and Brands. The award sponsor is Mobile Centrics. The evening meal is Valkyrie in association with Origin. Evening drinks, Britannia. Evening entertainment, Geek for Me. And the lanyard sponsor is EADR. As you can see, we've got a great lineup of. Oh, you're not that far.
Yeah, we're on the sponsor still.
Okay.
There we go.
All right.
So let's go to the exhibition. There we go.
There we go. Roll it.
There we go.
All right. So we've got a great lineup with Logix, Pixel, Prevo, Target PC Build Services, Marvo, Valkyrie, TechPoint Distribution, Case King UK, Arrow Cool, Thunder X3, In-Game Gear, APNX, Lee & Lee, Vantex, Colink, Haven, Nitro Concepts, Moser Racing, Ducky, Strumplify, EADR, VIP, QNAP, Kingston, Gamers Beat Cancer, that's our charity, Spire, TP Link, Mentor Distribution, eAma, ISL Online, Be Quiet, Seasonic, The Tech Experts, BBP, and Lexar, Adesso, Gecko Gear, Lindy, Corsair, Elgato, Antec, Deep Coup, Recommerce IT, Strong, Haywood Wright Accounting, Eurosoft, KBS, Laptops Direct, Asus, Republic of Gamers, Norton, Origin, Hemdell, Britannia, Cherry Smart and Cherry Extrafy, Endify, Cooler Master, Akasa, Pluggable, Mobile-Centrics, Vita, Cables Direct, Gigabyte, Draytech, NZXT, Verbatim, Surefire, CI Distribution, Blazer,
Blaster.
Blaster. Okay, Gig for Me, OEM Cloud, Minibot, Seagate, Techware, and Ugreen. And I'm pretty sure that we've got a couple of more that are not on there as of yet. People are still signing up, if you can believe it. So if you want to be at TechMax, you've only got a week or so to sign up because everything has to be turned in by the 13th. So, yeah, all payments need to be cleared by the 13th.
And you've missed the biggest one. The biggest exhibitor who's going to be there. The guys at FSP are going to be there as well.
That's
so
true.
That's right. So they're going to be with Origin at the event. So and there's quite a, believe it or not, even this late in the game, we've had 2 or 3 big companies contact us today, and obviously.
Yeah.
Once we finalise them, they'll be added on as well. But let's quickly go to the chat before we go to the main topic. So we've got Mark Dennis saying, evening all. Hi, Mark. We've got Welshie Tech saying hi. And he's also saying he can't wait for TechMax. So that's pretty good. Again, if there's anyone else watching, which I know there is, if you would like to just comment and say your name, your company name, and we'll give you a shout out. So, right, Hitz, I'm going to move over to you. You're going to basically, tell us all about what this Origin place is, just in case anyone doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, Origin is a manufacturer and a distributor. We, believe it or not, Phil, we this year hit our 25th year milestone. We've been established since 2000. So, yeah, we've already got our 25th year milestone this year, which we're very proud of.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Since joining Origin back in 2023, back end of the year 2023, we introduced the gaming division to within Origin, and we've managed to launch some really top tier 1 brands, the likes of Nvidia, PNY, Inno3D, Valkyrie. We've launched. We've got Seasonic on board, and now we've also got launched with FSP as an exclusive distributor on their power supplies, which I think I used to do a lot of the FSP brand previously in the early 2000s. And I think bringing this brand back, I think it'll be very, very strong for us. I think it's a great brand for the channel. And it's definitely great to see these guys on board to join us at TechMax as well.
Yes, it is.
So yeah, that's great.
Okay, thank you, Hitz. I'm going to say it is nice to see another power supply or a dedicated power supply brand out there. So especially a name what's been around for a few years. I'm going to say I remember, I don't know how many years you guys have been around, but at least the 90s, I'm pretty sure of it. So one of the earlier big name brands is probably the best way of putting it. So... Yeah. Right, chat. You're very quiet tonight, so come on, guys, get.
They're
talking.
Intrigued. They're intrigued.
That's it. Right, Maurice, do you want to give us a rundown and maybe a presentation?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll just share my screen. Please do let me know if you can see.
There we go. So
there's Welshie.
There we go. Let me just put on there. What we'll do, guys, is now we're going on to the presentation. I'm just going to minimize the chat. Feel free to ask any questions and we'll run through those
we'll come back
afterwards.
To you.
So I'm just going to hide the chat, but we can still see it. So I'll come back to those after Maurice's presentation. But I must admit, I've seen a quick run through of this, and I must say I do like the look of the actual power supply that are on offer. So all down to you, Maurice.
Thank you very much. Just want to say good evening, everyone. I want to say, first of all, massive thank you to Phil and Jenny for having us on. It's truly a pleasure and an honor to be on the show tonight. It's not going to be too easy to kind of follow on from Hitz, but I'll certainly give it my best shot. So I'm Maurice from FSP UK, and I'll be presenting today. And next to me, I'm joined by the lovely Maggie Wu.
Hello.
Who's our head of retail in the UK. And I was going to say we're going to be joined by my mentor and good friend, Andy, but sadly he couldn't make it today because of the time difference. But we're all thrilled to be joining the Tech for Tech web show today. And tonight we're going to be telling you a little bit about FSP, showcasing some of our products on a page, as well as answering any questions you might have about us. And so without sort of any further ado, I'll jump straight into it. So a little bit about us. We were established in 1993, so you're spot on, Phil, in Taiwan. And our UK branch has been around since about 1997. We're listed on the Taiwanese Stock Exchange, and we've got a global turnover of about $500 million. We're a top 10 manufacturer of switching power supplies, and we're about 5,000 to 6,000 strong globally. So some of you might already be thinking, so why is it that FSP has been around for so long and at the size we are, why you haven't really heard of us or seen much of us in the retail space? And the simple answer to that really is that we've always had to straddle the challenges of being a manufacturer or building our own brand in the past. But of recent years, our strategy's become a lot clearer. We want to establish ourselves as a manufacturing brand in the retail space, which is why we're launching officially for the first time in the UK with Origin Storage this year. So in terms of our production facilities and capabilities, we manufacture in China, Taiwan, and Vietnam. The factories in Taiwan and Vietnam have only opened maybe in the last 5 years or so, and that's because we're starting to see some demand shifting from our customers away from the supply chain in China, which makes sense given what we're seeing with trade and the geopolitical instability. Our global operation is truly global. We've got branches in most corners of the world, including right here in the UK, based in St Albans, where me and Maggie are tonight, in Hertfordshire. And as previously mentioned, we've been in operation since 1997. So we're coming up to about 28 years in the UK. Although we manufacture a huge variety and range of power supplies, FSP has always specialized in PC power supplies. And a bit of interesting trivia for you guys, back in 1996, FSP, in collaboration with Intel, were the first to design the first standardized power supply, which we now all know as the ATX form factor. So that's a cool bit of trivia. But let's be honest with ourselves, guys. Who cares what we make and where we make it? What you guys really want to know is why you should buy FSP and what sets us apart from other power supply manufacturers. As you can see from our slide, what sets us apart is our R&D capability. For a company our size, we have one of the highest R&D engineer to staff ratios in the power supply industry. So we're always at the forefront of innovation when it comes to power supplies. And you'll see what I mean in just a second. So when I introduce FSP, I love to use the term all-you-can-eat buffet to describe our offering, because when you choose FSP, you truly are spoiled for choice. This is one of the things that sets FSP apart from our competitors, is that we produce our own original power supplies, unlike many other brands who don't make their own, and will come to someone like FSP in the past, a true manufacturer, to ask for ODM or OEM builds. Obviously, today, we can't disclose who in the past or present that FSP has manufactured for, but for some of the biggest names out there have come to us to have their power supplies built. So what that does mean for you, if you do choose FSP products directly, is you're going to get top quality at a very reasonable price point, all made in-house. And all the models that you see above on your screen is just our PC power supply range. So this is our current mainstream retail power supply range that we're trying to launch into the UK. We've segmented it into 3 levels: entry level, mainstream, and high end. Everything in red is what's going to be available or is currently available in the UK for our sole and only partner distributor, Origin Storage. So please feel free to inquire through them. So introducing our hero product, the Vita GM. This is our standout product that ranges from the 750 to 1000 watts in the UK. And you can see it's been reviewed by major media outlets such as Hardware Busters, Kit Guru, Nick Tech Power Up, etc. One of the criticisms in the past with FSP is that the product's good, it's good quality, but no one really knew who we were and why they should buy FSP. We've massively invested globally into marketing to change that, and hopefully that's starting to feed through into the wider channels and into the end users. And this is why we've chosen the Vita GM to be our hero product. Although rated and certified at gold, during testing, we've managed to discover that it's actually, the efficiencies exceeds that of gold and actually can reach platinum. So what it means for you and the end users is that you'll essentially have a platinum efficiency power supply at gold prices, which is great value for money. Thank you, Maggie. So here are the specs. ATX 3.1, over 90% efficiency with Japanese capacitors and a 120mm fan, all fully modular. As you can see here at the bottom, what connectors it comes with. The main difference being at the 650 watt level, it doesn't have a 12 volt high power connector. If you're also looking for a slightly cost down version or your casing isn't transparent, we also have the same unit with direct cabling. We also have a bronze version of the Vita, which is especially popular with our system integrator customers who are looking for top performance and quality and reliability at great value. Please enjoy this quick promotional video on Vita, but please bear in mind I do have to mute the video for copyright reasons. Oops. Apologies for that. Just as a reminder, all of these Vita models I've showcased can be found in the UK as of the mid-July for our sole distribution partner, Origin Storage, which also comes in white as well, in case you want to do a full white build. The Hydro PTMX Pro is part of our high-end range. They're fully platinum. They're all fully platinum, and the key difference here between this model and the Vita is the Eco semi-fanless control switch, which essentially means that when the power supply is operating at less than 40% capacity, you have the option to turn the fan off. Because of this, the higher-end models tend to be more popular with tech enthusiasts who like to make more silent builds. This will also be available through Origin Storage. Similarly, with the Hydro PTM Pro, this is part of our high-end lineup at FSP. The key difference here between this model and the last one is the size. This one is slightly longer and also goes up to 1,650 watt. With these, we're creeping into the low-end workstation market, which tends to have more than one graphics card, and hence why there are more than one 12-volt high-power connector. And at the size of chassis for workstations tend to be bigger anyway, the slight increase in size is not typically an issue. Again, these are rated at platinum, and we have models that are coming out that will be rated at titanium in our mega range. But that isn't being launched in the UK just yet, so keep an eye out for that coming in 2026. So now moving swiftly onto what I would describe as our niche ranges. The Dagger Pro is our SFX form factor power supply, typically used for smaller micro and custom builds. These currently exist at 650 watt and 850 watts, but towards the year, I believe there will be an 1,000 watt SFX power supply available, and early into next year, a 1,200 watt power supply. The Twins Pro is a particular favorite of mine. FSP are the sole owners of the patent for this type of design, a PS2 redundant ATX power supply. It combines the redundant element from industrial servers into a compact ATX form factor. You won't find this power supply anywhere else. The idea is that it comes with two working modules which are hot swappable. So if one comes to the end of its life, instead of replacing the whole unit and disassembling everything, you can just take the power cable out and plug it into the other one and replace the old unit. This is currently available at 500, 700 and 900 watts and is available in the UK, rated at gold, and again is more popular with some of our lower end workstation or server integrator customers. The most powerful power supply in our range is the Canon Pro, which comes in 2,500 watts or 2,000 watts. And these are capable of supporting up to 4 graphics cards. And these recently have caught a lot of attention in the market, especially with our workstation customers who've even tested these successfully on the AMD Threadrippers, for example, and passed with flying colors. You can see here. So as you can see, if you're not convinced about the quality or reliability of our power supplies, don't take my word for it. Please visit some of our media review outlets who've extensively reviewed our product and repeatedly awarded us with recommendations online. As you can see here, our hero product, the Vita GM, is not short of any accolades whatsoever. And we will have samples to hand to show and tell at TechMax on the 27th of June 2025, alongside Origin's booth. So that was power supplies, but now I'll quickly touch upon cases, but not coolers in this instance, as we haven't launched them in the UK just yet. So as you can see here, again, we've got the three segmentations: entry level, mainstream, and high end. Everything highlighted in pink is what will be available in the UK from the middle of July. Please inquire again through Origin. Our hero product in the case range is the M580 Plus, which gives you a 270-degree fish tank view of your hardware. Again, I'll show a quick demonstration video showing the one-piece glass. I just want to make sure to mute properly this time. There you go. You can see one piece of glass curved all the way around. It's a beautiful white build as well. Look at that. As you can see, again, the M580 Plus has received some top accolades, making it an editor's choice innovation and a must-have recommendation. So that's kind of it. Just to wrap up, FSP will be at Origin's booth with sample products on display at TechMax on the 27th of June. We will be running a spin the wheel style giveaway of prizes and merchandise. We'll also be giving away a Vita 750 watt modular gold power supply on the day. We'll also be around all day into the evening. So please feel free to reach out to myself or Maggie with any inquiries on the day, and email us at fspgroup.co.uk, booth number 17, 18, and 19. So thank you very much. I'll pass it back to Phil, Jenny, and Hitz, and we can start going through some questions. Sorry, you're muted, I think, Phil.
There we go.
Yeah.
And I
Thank
told
you,
you to
Maurice.
make sure that you don't mute yourself in the show, didn't I? And I've gone and done it myself. So, but yeah, very good presentation. Thank you very much. Unfortunately, we couldn't hear any of it.
What?
No, I'm kidding.
Oh,
There we go.
you got me for a second. I was like,
There we go. Obviously, guys, as well, if you don't know Origin's website, I've stuck it on the screen as well. So if anyone wants to purchase anything, it's on there. It's basically originstorage.com. And then there's a section, I think it's gaming at the top. And then you'll be able to get through to the power supplies and in the future the cases, by the sounds of it as well, which look very interesting with a curved glass on there. So that's very good. So let me just turn the chat back on. So let's here we go. They're very quiet tonight, the chat. I think they're scared.
That's scary when they're quiet.
Yeah, it means
That means they're thinking of what they're going to come out
That's
with.
it.
Or judging in silence, I think.
Exactly. Exactly. There's people watching. I can see that, but they are quiet. I can see we did have a couple come in. We've got David Lomax saying evening all, looking good. Hitz. Looks like Hitz's fan club or one person. And then we and then you got Welshie Tech saying he knows about FSP. So you've been around for a long time. I do have some questions what people have sent me in. I don't know why they don't want the names to be shown on the chat, but they've sent them me privately. The first one is, are you guys really the OEM, the manufacturer of these things, or is it being manufactured by someone else?
The simple answer to that, Phil, is no, we are the real deal. We're the actual OEM and ODM manufacturers. People come to us and have done in the past to manufacture power supplies from other big brands currently in the market. So sometimes a lot of people don't even know that they are using the FSP power supply. But no, we are the real deal. We don't manufacture. We don't have someone else manufacture for us. That's right.
That sounds pretty good. I'm going to say, I know, obviously, we've reviewed a few power supplies in the past, and generally I usually dig in to find out who the OEM is, because a lot of these brands out there, I won't name them, but usually gaming type brands, shall we say, and they usually basically get someone else to make the power supply for them and put their badge on the side is the basics.
Yeah.
So I've definitely seen that done quite a few times over the years. It's nothing
yeah.
new, and I don't think it'll be something what will stop anytime soon. So Nathan's saying it looks good. Thanks for the info, and he'll see you at the event. So he's watching on LinkedIn at the moment, so that's pretty good.
And Welshie says that he's going to stop by and take footage of your products on display.
I'll be stopping back to. Oh yeah, so I missed that question, but yeah. So statement, should I say? So yeah, Welshie Tech's an influencer or creator. I'm not sure which he goes under, but there's a few of them who will be coming to the event.
Really nice fellow though to work with.
So if you didn't gather, he's Welsh. From his name, but hence the dragon as well. I think he's got his logo, whatever it is. But yes, so he'll be at the event. So it'd be nice to see him there.
Yeah.
Question for Hitz. Okay, so Hitz. If someone wanted any of these power supplies and they wanted to obviously order them from Origin, do you have to be VAT registered?
No, and the simple answer to that, Phil, no customers have to be VAT registered. I mean, they could just simply register online through our website, or just pick up the phone and just get hold of me, and I can get you an account set up very, very quickly. I mean, majority of our customers have had no issues with setting accounts up with us, and it's a really, really simple format to do. Just one simple form to be filled in. I've got our own sales support team who can get everything set up. We've got and then even apply for credit, or even if you don't want to pay, if you don't need credit, you can just pay up front for it, and we can sort that out for you guys as well. So it's very simple to set an account up with us here.
That was the second question. Do I have to have credit if I want an account? But you've asked that one, answered that one. So there you go. He's
on it tonight.
Yeah. One thing I saw disappointing in that presentation was how many power supplies don't come with floppy connections anymore.
No.
Oh, really? You're showing your age now.
Exactly.
Ooh.
I can't remember when the last time I used a floppy connection was, to be honest with you.
It was in the store. Someone brought some ancient rig in, and we had to use it, and we actually had to go and buy a floppy disk reader for the fix. So
that's it. I'm going to say these days, if anyone wants anything on a floppy, I'd suggest to just get a USB floppy drive, to be honest with you, and plug it in the PC.
That's what we actually bought in the end, yeah.
Justin Hayes saying, I need to get an account set up. There you go, Hitz. Go hunt Justin Hay down tomorrow.
Justin, just give me a call, and it'll be done in 10 minutes. No problem, Justin.
There you go. So, again, if anyone doesn't know how to get hold of Hitz or anything like that, I'll put the details for Origin on the screen there, and you can get yourself an account set up with Origin pretty easy. Or if you need to get hold of Hitz and you don't know how, just let me know if you know my details, and again, I will pass on your information and so forth. I'll stick our details up on the screen as well. There we go. So do you have any questions, Jen? Because chat is very, very, very quiet, very suspiciously quiet tonight.
Oh, I was just going to make the statement that the power supplies, some of them have a real sexy look to them.
Yeah, they do. I think it's an unfortunate thing with power supplies is that a lot of time there's that many shrouds and stuff or chambers in the cases, you can't actually physically see the power supply. I think that's one of the biggest issues.
And a lot of makers think on those lines, so they don't really give it much thought as to what it's going to look like. It's just the little box that goes unnoticed, and they don't really put in a lot of effort into making it look nice. But that you can see that they have gone the extra mile and given it a little bit of a sex appeal, if you will.
That's it. I can't wait to get my hands on one. Hint, hint, hint.
Ooh.
But there we go. So what's the highest wattage power supply you guys do?
So ATX wise, the biggest one we do right now is 2,500 watts. So Maggie, you want to quickly show them? So no regular, probably standard end user would ever need something this big. The only people we've largely sold this to is
That's huge.
our workstation customers. It's got 4 12-volt high power connectors, so that means you can have 4 NVIDIA cards, and you can have at least 4 5080s, I think. So yeah, so largely for our low end workstation customers, which is pretty ridiculous. 2,500 watts at platinum rated.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's heavy too, and it's bigger
Look
than
at power bill.
Yeah, exactly. So big power bill, and you need a decent desk to support that. I know those heavy ones are big ones are pretty heavy. So, any plans of going any higher than 2,500?
Not at the minute, but we did at Computex. We did see a couple of our competitors, trying to go higher into the 3,000 ranges. But yeah, I mean the watches, the pound demand, they're just getting silly, aren't they? I mean, Hitz, who sells the cards. I mean, what have you guys done, right? Like all these.
Justin says, I need something with 1.21 gigawatts. For all of you Back to the Future fans.
I was going to say, Justin, I'm not sure if they forecast any thunder and lightning tonight. So but there we go. Right,
Doc Brown would have been proud to have had one of these power supplies.
Exactly. So, right, okay. Let's have a look. With the power supplies, I'm trying to translate this message I've got. Basically, what makes your power supplies stand out against your competitors? Why should they buy yours rather than someone else's?
Well, that's a good question.
No, it's a really, really good question. So I think we've established earlier we make our own, and I think a ballpark figure is a majority of other brands probably don't make their own. I can't put I'll give you an exact figure, but for maybe a lot of brands that focus on other components that also want to build a power supply, it doesn't make sense for them to economically buy a power supply factory and make their own. So a lot of the time they just will pay someone else, OEM, to build it. So why you should buy ours is because we don't have to add on that markup because we're making for someone else. Because someone else is making it for us. Sorry, we make our own. So what you're going to get is the same quality as some top names out there, right? But without that markup. So it's going to be better value for money. And obviously we're going to potentially the ones that we do ourselves might be slightly higher quality or slightly different design. So that's what I would say. Yeah.
Okay, that's a good one.
We have Sharon in the chat. Evening from Eurosoft UK Limited. Power supplies are topical, and she should know because she has the software to test them with.
Well, yeah. So if you don't know Sharon Richards from Eurosoft, they do some decent diagnostic software and stuff like that. She's going to be exhibiting at TechMax as well, so be good to see her. So make sure you bump heads with her. So
she's really nice. She and Leslie, her husband, they are really good people.
Yeah, I'm going to say we
went to see her down in Dorset.
Yeah, it must be 2 years ago now.
At least. We're long overdue for another visit.
That's it. So I'll pop in and say hi. Right, next question. Warranty. So I'm guessing that's going to be Hitz and Maurice going to be answering this one, and Maggie maybe. Yeah. So what is the warranty on the power supplies?
Yep, absolutely. So question we get all the time. So bronze is up to 5 years, and then everything else, so gold and above, is all up to 10 years. Yeah.
Okay, that's
correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure that's it.
Yeah, so basically 5 to 10 years, depending on what you're actually purchasing. Yeah. So, Hitz, if someone wants to buy one of these power supplies from yourself, let's say one of the ones that's got a 10-year warranty, and let's just say they've had it 6 months and it goes bang for whatever reason. Hopefully it won't, but just let's say it did. How long is the turnaround on getting this replaced?
So I've started offering something called advanced replacement now with majority of our brands, including graphics cards, and I'm going to mirror that onto FSP on their power supplies as well. So in terms of if it's faulty, like you just said, it goes bang and it goes faulty, then I will replace it by sending you a brand new one out. If we've got stock of it, then you will get an advanced replacement sent out. And then we will collect the faulty one later. But we want to make sure that your customers, at least they've got a machine ready to go. The last thing you want is when stuff comes back, then it takes time for it to be swapped out. So this is why we want to offer an advanced replacement service. We've been doing that since I've started at Origin. It's worked really, really well. So we just want to keep that momentum going as well. However, if there is no stock, then we'll offer a full credit without fail. That's not a problem.
You
Okay.
know, that used to wind me up that I would find that it was a faulty part, and I had to send it back and let the people decide on their end that it was faulty before I got a replacement. And sometimes it'd be a couple of weeks, and in the meantime, the customer is unhappy.
Yeah.
Okay, it's no fault of mine that it went, you know, berserk on on tying and everything. They understand that, but they also don't understand that they're losing money at work, let's say, or their child can't play Fortnite and he's driving them up the wall. So it's really good that you're offering that Hitz.
Yeah, it is. I must admit, having that service, that would have been one of the main selling points for me if I was purchasing stuff as an independent, because generally most independents haven't got room to stock
No.
10 of each model of power supply, and then the same with cases, processors, RAM, SSDs. In a lot of cases, they're ordering one item at a time when they get an order for a build. And the last thing they want to do is say to a customer, right, that computer you've got, okay, we can get a replacement part, but we've got to send it off. It's got to be tested. It's got to be then sent back, either repaired or replaced, which can take weeks, we've known. So being able to get an advanced replacement, I'm presuming the following day, that's an amazing thing, to be honest with you. And then
And I can understand how
later.
come they get frustrated. They spend all this money on a machine, and you know they have to wait and wait and wait for it to be built, and then the part goes berserk, as I say, and then they have to wait and wait some more. So yeah, I can totally understand that, and they don't have to wait if the part comes from Origin. So.
That's it. So I do like that, and I wish more distributors offered a similar thing, to be honest with you. So,
as a matter of fact, if we had a store still, that would be a main point in me going to Origin distribution for parts.
Yeah.
Is that.
And you can even promote that to your customers as well, because you can say to your customers, look, in the worst case scenario, something goes wrong, we can get a replacement part the next day for worst case scenario, rather than having to wait for it to, if you were to buy it from, let's say, a big chain store, what no one wants to use, rather than people buying stuff from there and then saying if something goes wrong, you've got to send the laptop to them, then they're going to send it to probably Ireland to get repaired, and then that'll take a week or two and send all the way back and blah, blah, blah. And by that time, you've got this new device that you had from you bought it a month ago and you've only used it twice because you've not been actually able to use it. So yeah, definitely a good one there. So yeah, Justin Hay, I'll let you read that one out.
Justin says, what is the USP of the PSP PSU?
Close. The FSP PSU.
Yeah.
Did I not say that correct?
Yeah, I'll let you know.
You said PSP. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. So, it's a really good point. And I'm not going to just keep saying, we manufacture our own, because I wouldn't say that's a particularly unique selling point. What I will say is FSP are much more known in the industrial and medical spaces for power supplies. So what does that mean? So industrial grade power supplies have to withstand much harsher temperatures, right? Much harsher working conditions. They're on all the time, etc. And in the medical field, they can't fail because they're simply saving someone's life, right? So what I would say is, if the FSP power supply is good enough for those servers, keeping businesses and infrastructure up 24/7 and keeping someone else up, alive on a ventilator or whatever it is, it's probably good enough also for your gaming rig, right? So that's the sort of quality and reliability we're bringing to, the retail space. And as I said, like we've been around for a long, long time, since 1993, right? We were one of the first to co-design the ATX with Intel. So we're the first ones to have made that ATX power supply. So you're really coming to, almost kind of like the godfather of power supplies, dare I say. And the second thing is value. If you look at the MSRP, right, where Origin's putting it or where we're putting it, it is not high whatsoever. We're competing. We're very, very competitive. And I can't say obviously who we're OEM or ODM for, but some of those, brands are high-end brands, right? And they're much, much more higher priced than we are. So what you're getting now is extreme value and extreme quality where we are currently. if that's a good.
You might say you're the lifesaver of power supplies.
Yeah,
if you're
potentially.
going
That's why it's called Visa, right? A bit of vitality. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely some good points there. Sorry, I was having a coughing attack a second ago, but there we go.
I was trying to cover for you.
That's it. So yeah, so that's definitely a good selling point, and obviously that warranty replacement, I would say, is a unique selling point as well.
Yeah.
More probably on Origin side, but
and the cool thing is that it's exclusive to Origin.
That's
Absolutely. Yeah.
If I was to give tips out for anyone building building computers, the two main things what you need to get right, and generally are the two things what we always found would break the most. Number one would have been the power supply, because whoever's made it has used a, shall we say, a value power supply instead of a decent
that's
branded
being
one.
generous.
And there's lots of power supplies out there for 15, 20 quid. And to be honest with you, when you pick them up, they feel like a piece of paper. They're very light, which is usually not a good sign. And the other thing is storage, so hard drives, SSDs, and so forth. Those are the two main things on building a computer. I always find it generally, especially obviously if it's something like an important machine, what needs stability and so forth, are the two main things I'd go for.
I would have said power supply and cooling.
Yeah. Generally, depending on what you get, you usually get some sufficient cooling these days. But yeah, I do agree. There you go. Okay, so Justin's asking the pricing for the 1,000 watt FSP power supply unit. Again, pricing is going to be obviously depending on when people are watching this show and so forth. So for accurate pricing, I would suggest check with Hitz.
I would go on the Origin website.
Pricing can change on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. So I don't know if you want to give them a rough idea, Hitz, or if you just want to tell them to give you a call or an email.
So we've already started setting MSRPs for the power supplies. So you're looking at around $129.99 for a 1,000 watt gold. That's the MSRP. What we're looking to set a benchmark in the UK for.
Yeah.
Now those prices are subject to change, but they are accurate at the time the show was aired.
Yeah. So again, that's the MSRP, not the price you'd be buying it for. So obviously, there's going to be hopefully a bit of a margin on there for you as well. So and knowing Hitz, if you're buying 100 of them off of him, he might do you a deal.
And Minibot says, "Hey FSP, looking forward to our collab project."
Yeah.
Oh, is this something we need to know?
Oh, must be an interesting project going off with Minibot PC.
It will also be at the show, won't they?
Yes, Minibot is at the show. I don't know if you heard earlier on. We'll give you a shout out to Minibot, but he will be there showing off some of his builds, custom builds. We sent an email out as well a few days ago. So if anyone wants to check those out and what you can do, some nice water cooling setups. And I'm not sure exactly what he's bringing, so I'm presuming at least one of them will have water cooling, but he's going to be showing them off the show.
And Dan says he's just curious, what's the bright green stuff that Hitz is drinking?
This is just normal orange squash. This is just orange squash. We'll have a drink. We'll have a drink at TechMax, but this on the show is just orange.
Yeah, so
I will have my well-deserved one.
If you're having a drink with Dan, it's got to be Guinness.
That's right.
Okay, so that's pretty much all I ever see him drink. Is
Dan
Guinness,
and I will have the Guinness table going full swing.
That's it. So, but yeah, so definitely Guinness going there. So right, okay, what time are we on? Oh, it's 10 to 9 already. Right, guys, is there any other questions anyone's got either for Origin or obviously FSP? Questions about the power supplies? Questions if Origin does anything, I suppose, other than power supplies? Hitz has already told us what brands they cover, but if you want to give us just a quick run down again for anyone tuning in late, Hitz, what sort of brands you cover other than FSP?
Yeah, so we've got our gaming brands, which we in collaboration with NVIDIA, Inno3D, Valkyrie, PNY, taken on FSP. Other brands that they're not gaming brands, which we're official distributors of as well, which is QNAP, iStorage, BTI, and some of the customers as well. Just to give you a little bit of customer coverage, we cover around 85% of B2B VAR customers already within our sales team, and we've also got a full range of B2C customers that we cover as well, including e-tailers, SI customers, retail, and our independent channel has grown. We've definitely grown in that sector as well, to making sure that the independent customers are using Origin a lot now as well, which is great to see on our point of view. And also for the viewers, I mean, if you need anything in terms of anything that we can help you with, any projects you guys have, just give us a call and we're here to help. Customer service levels is the main thing that, you know, Origin want to do well in. And we have started making a lot of noise within our customer service levels to making sure we get things delivered next day for you. Next day deliveries are available until 5 o'clock. We've got a new website that we've launched, easy to navigate on there now. We've got a full configurator on notebooks where you can choose what SSD goes into which notebook you've got. It could be a Dell, Lenovo. We've got our own Origin products, which, we're all our own manufacturer as well, ranging from SSDs, RAM, docking stations, notebook chargers for HP, Dell, Lenovo's. We've got our Origin bags. We've got our own gaming monitors coming through. We've got our own, our own 24-inch, 27-inch monitors, privacy filters, which we're doing well with. So yeah, it's a whole range of Origin products that we will be bringing as well to showcase our tech backs as well, which we're looking forward to.
Just to say to Justin's comment, Origin need to go all in. FSP, PNY, AOC, AFX, AMD, XPG, get them all and announce them on TFT. Now, I will say to you, just give Hitz time. Give Hitz time, and it'll be done. I guarantee it.
Yeah, he's only been there about 18 months, is it, Hitz? Or you
Yes, back end of 2023, September,
Yeah.
I started Origin. Yeah, it's been a great, what we've managed to do in a short period of time as well. So yeah,
That's I'm going to say, I must admit, I've been liking some of the brands you've been getting in.
Me
Well,
too.
all the brands actually. But even that, saying that, even the Origin like SSDs and RAM, we've used a few in our reviews and stuff like that, and I must say I've been very pleased with those, because you also like supply Dell and places like that, don't you, with the RAM and SSDs and stuff? So obviously they're going to be a high quality rather than some of the budget brands what we've seen out there. It's actually a game similar to
that's impressive, because coming from someone who knows Dell very well, they don't just go for any old parts when they build the computers. So yeah, if you pass the Dell test, that's saying something.
Yeah, I'm going to say Dell does have some interesting tests I've seen in the past. Right, guys, we're coming to the end of the show. Is there any last questions? Basically, what anyone's got. What I'm going to do is go to, while we wait for any last questions to come in, I'm going to go to Maggie and Maurice. If you had one thing to pick about FSP or the power supplies to showcase and make the product stand out, what would that one thing you would say?
Ooh, one thing that would make FSP stand out amongst the rest.
Yeah,
it's hard to say. Anything, Maggie? As in like a product line, or just like one characteristic about FSP?
I would say well, really any range, to be honest. I would say let's go for like your power supplies. One thing what makes your power supplies stand out.
One thing that makes our power supply stand out, I think simply that we basically conned the term ATX. I mean, the fact that everyone uses the term ATX in power supply, we essentially came up with that. I mean, I don't think there's a bigger flex in the power supply scene than that. I know maybe the power supply scene, no one really cares too much, but we conned the term that everyone uses, so that's maybe what I'd say.
Yeah, that's it. And even when you're buying a case or a motherboard, it's all ATX
Yep.
sizing and so forth. So pretty much the same your name within the everything they're buying near enough, aren't they? So
Yeah.
one question I do have come in, and it is an interesting one. This is something what we mention when we do reviews, is plastic, as in plastic packaging, as in one-use plastics. Do you have a lot of that in your products?
Yeah, I think we do use some plastic, but boxes, cardboard. The bag that has all the cables is like an actual material, so it's like a cloth, so that's not plastic. But
That's nice.
There will be obviously a film of plastic sometimes, yeah.
On the
Yeah, but
boxes,
it's something
so-
that the ESG thing has always been high on
Yeah,
our list as
yeah.
well, so that's something that we're constantly plugging away at. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's definitely something what I see more and more manufacturers getting better at it, and then suddenly I'll find one suddenly out of the blue, every single thing in the box is covered in plastic, and then in plastic again. But
There was one power supply, and I won't say the name. I opened it up, and you get the nice little cloth bag inside with your cables. All right. Well, inside that was the cables, but they were inside a plastic bag in the cloth bag.
Oh no.
And I just looked around, and I was just like, good grief. And then you had a plastic bag of screws. Okay, I understand you can't do much about that. And then you had a manual, which was also in a one-use plastic bag. and everything that was in there was wrapped in plastic.
yeah.
And then you had the outer film as well. I understand you have to have, some sort of something on the box for protection, but all the one-use plastics inside the box, it just absolutely drove me mental. The only one that I could see the need for was for the screws itself inside there. The manual didn't need any kind of protection.
Yeah, it's quite a common thing. We did one recently where the cables, I think the cables were in 4 plastic bags in a cloth bag, and then the cloth bag was in a plastic bag. And I was like, huh? So, and it's, I think the packaging was going on about we're very environmental friendly, blah, 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 because this is a platinum, blah, blah. And I was like,
And
maybe.
we're green because the ink we use on the box is so and so.
Yeah.
I've had that before.
So, but there we go. Right. Anyway, I think we're at the end of the show. Is there anything you would like to add before we call it a night? We'll go to Hitz first.
No, I'm just looking forward to TechMax really, and see everybody there at TechMax.
That's it. It's not long now, roughly 2.5 weeks away. So if anyone hasn't got the tickets yet, I'll just put the shortcut on the screen, or a link, should I say. It's just tftmax.com. Tickets are free. So that means free as in FREE, as in you don't have to pay anything, unless you are wanting to stay for the evening, which we've only got a handful of those left.
Yeah, they're really going low.
But if anyone does want to attend, it's free for the daytime. You can purchase breakfast and lunch at the venue. Just remember to bring card because it is a cashless venue. Starts at 10 o'clock in the morning. Plenty of hotels around. It's slap bang between Sheffield, Rotherham, and right next door, near enough to Meadowhall and the junction on the motorway. So
I will say, if you are a vendor or distributor that will be standing on the day and you haven't gotten your evening tickets, you really need to call me tomorrow and get those in. I'm handing in the RSVP list on Thursday. Friday into play. And they're going to need all of the count for numbers and catering.
Yeah.
So if you have extras that have come along and said, I want to go with you, or you have been reluctant to buy, please give me a call tomorrow.
Yeah, there we go. So anyone who hasn't bought tickets for the event to turn up, so tickets will be on sale all the way up to the day of the event, with the exception of the evening tickets, which will sell out before the event itself, unless we're able to give any more out. Right, okay, so quickly to Maurice and Maggie. Is there anything you would like to add before we call it a night?
Not at all. Come visit our booth. Booth number 17, 18, and 19
19.
with Origin Storage.
Yeah.
See you guys there.
Yeah. And if you guys are not sure where about that is, there will be maps on the day. We'll have QR codes on the back of your tickets, or not tickets, but lanyards, so you can scan the QRs. Or give you a map of the venue. And on top of that, if you still can't find them, look where the talks are. They're practically right next to where all the talks and everything are. So
as you enter the room, I'll be on the right-hand side at reception, and directly left, you'll see a big block of tables and things, and they're in that block.
Yeah, they're on the far side. So yeah, so but there we go. Right, looks like
They kicked us off camera.
okay.
Were we that bad?
Okay, there we go. The camera disappeared. I don't know what happened there, but you can't see us. Good timing because we're about to call it a night anyway. So it's not that we've not paid the power bill or anything like that. The lights have gone off. For some reason, the camera just decided to, not work. But hey, that's how it goes. So, right, everyone.
Anyone going to be at TechMax, we need a camera.
Yeah. So, right, guys, we'll see you all next week. We do have a show next week with Target Components. It's going to be 8 o'clock on Monday. It's sort of the countdown to TechMax. So that's going to be like the last main show we'll have. We'll have a brief one the week after, just before the event, just us, just going over everything, questions, answers. But we'll have a big show next week as well. So again, tune in Monday, 8 o'clock. Yes, power supply blown, and it wasn't an FSP one either.
That's
Before
true.
you ask.
That's true.
So,
maybe if
there
we
you
had
go.
had the FSP, we'd have been doing better.
Exactly. Serves you right for buying one of those budget brands.
Wouldn't me.
Right, guys, we'll see you all later. If there's any questions
Bye.
or anything like that, feel free to email us over. Again, we'll put you in touch with whoever needs to be put in touch of. So you've got our info on the screen. It's info@tech4tex.co.uk, or you go to the website. There's a contact form on there. It's tech4tex.co.uk.
Yeah.
Good night, everyone. Thanks again.
Thank you for joining us.
There you go. I'm waving bye to you, but
Yeah.
I realise the camera's not working. So
And
but
hopefully we'll
everyone else
see you
wave
at
bye.
TechMax.